Hello, my name is Oliver Tompsett and I'm here at the wonderful Century Club's roof terrace, and I'm here to talk about my up-and-coming duets with the wonderful Rachel Wooding over a cup of tea with Wilma. After working with Rachel Wooding on We Will Rock You for nearly 18 months, we decided we'd team up together and do a cabaret. And now that the show's come to an end, it seemed the perfect time to get back on stage and sing together. Me and Rach, she sadly can't be here today because she's not very well, but me and Rach have a fantastic relationship on stage and off stage, and we can't wait for the banter, to be honest. A lot of the songs in the cabarets are aimed at each other. There's a lot of lyric changes, the odd insult thrown in there to each other, but all that banter and all those insults come from a very warm place, because I enjoy nothing more than singing with Rachel, and I know she'd say the same for me if she was here. The set list for our cabaret is an eclectic mix. There are a lot of standard classic musical theatre songs, but there's also a lot of new musical theatre in there, and a lot of rock and pop, as that's one of mine and Rachel's big passions. But I think we've got the mix just right, really, so far. I mean, I don't want to give away too much, but it's ranging all the way from Miss Saigon to songs that are currently in the charts right now. So hopefully there's a little bit for everything. But don't expect it to be all as basic as that. There's a lot of fun to be had at our cabaret. Gonna go with that one. If you had to choose a favourite Queen song, what would it be? My favourite Queen song would have to be Bohemian Rhapsody every time. It sounds obvious, but there's a reason why it was at #1 for so long, and I don't think anyone would get I don't think anyone would get away with releasing a song like that with so many different styles in it and such an individual structure in this day and age. So for that, Bohemian Rhapsody is my favourite Queen song. Okay, #1. If you could be the opposite sex for the day, what theatre role would you play? Right. I think if I could be the opposite sex for the day, I would have to be Elphaba. I can't think of a stronger, more dominant, influential character in modern day musical theatre than Elphaba, so I'd go with that. Plus, I think I'd look really good green. I've been banging on about this for years, and they just won't see me for the part, so it's really sad. Kerry's going back into it, which is I'm really pleased for her. I did audition, but like I say, they didn't see me for the role, so I'm really happy for Kerry. I think she'll be quite good. Right. 3. In your opinion, what is the most momentous musical ever? I think that Rachel would say, and I would probably agree with her, that Miss Saigon. I haven't seen the new version yet, but I can't wait to see it, and the trailer that they've just released is mind-blowingly good. Right, okay. #4. Have you had any memorable on-stage disasters? Oh, almost too many to remember. You kind of erase them from your mind to try and convince yourself that you're more professional than you actually are. But I do remember once when I was working on a show called Royal Hunt of the Sun, a play, believe it or not. No singing involved. I know, very strange. But a play at the National Theatre called Royal Hunt of the Sun, and a homeless person made their way into the theatre and walked down the stairs and climbed over the audience, who were all dressed up in their black tie, shuffled along, and everyone being very English, they all shuffled along and let him sit down, and he sat down, and we were in a scene where, quite frankly, we were all standing at the back for about 25 minutes whilst our two wonderful leads did these huge monologues. And all we could do was stare at this guy and think, what is he doing? And then his next move was to climb over the next 2 rows and to make his way up onto stage. I was dressed as a Spanish soldier at the time, with body armour, helmet and a sword. And I went up to the guy and attempted to escort him off the stage, to which he threatened me. And I drew my sword on him and said, keep moving. And he put his hands on the back of his head and carried on walking off stage. It's a completely true story. And although it wasn't a disaster because I ended up being, a little bit of a hero, if I do say so myself, it's probably the most memorable of them all. Final question. If you were going to name a pet after a musical theatre character, what would you choose? I think I would definitely go for a pet fish, and I would call it 24601, just because I think it would respond well to that when I call it to the edge of the class. Thank you so much for listening to me. Please come down and check out our wonderful cabaret duets with me and the lovely Rachel Wooding at Proud Cabaret Brighton on the 29th of July and at Proud Cabaret London on the 30th of July. Or both, if you fancy it. I'm sure, knowing Rachel, that both shows are going to be different. She likes to change the lyrics, that girl, a lot. Oh, and one other thing, if you want to get tickets, make sure you go and visit ticketweb.co.uk. Thanks again. Tea with Wilma.